What's going on, you guys? It's Rahul here, back again with another video. And yeah, I'm back with the rankings. I'm really sorry if it has been a while since we last did a ranking video, but hey, I'm back with the videos. I wanted to do some other videos, and then hey, I'd get back to the rankings. And here we are, the top 10 small forwards from the 2019 to 20 season. Now we're going to take into account injuries, so Kevin Durant will not be on this list. With that being said, make sure you guys like the video if you guys do enjoy the video, as it really helps the channel. And also subscribe to the channel if you do watch my videos consistently, since you watch them consistently, since if you subscribe, you won't miss a beat. You will miss a video, I guess, not a beat. Anyways, also please check out my video on the Legion of Boom Seahawks and on the Kyrie Irving trade. Both videos will be in the description below, and also use the comment section to its full advantage, you guys, by putting down what you guys want to see on the channel and your rankings if you want to, and any feedback, so I can just bring you guys the best content. I really am trying to give you guys the best content to watch. With all that being said, you guys came here to see me talk about the top 10 small forwards, and with that being said, let's get started at number 10 being Bojan Bogdanovic. If you ask me, he's one of the most underrated players in the league. The dude's averaging 20 points per game, 2 assists, 4 rebounds per game, shooting 45% from the field and 41% from 3. He's a great three-point shooter, he's a good scorer, and he won't be playing in Orlando due to an injury. However, if you ask me, that's really going to be a huge loss to the Jazz, and considering the fact that he's a great scorer. With all that being said, I don't have a ton to say about Bojan Bogdanovic besides the fact that he's just really underrated. Next up at number 9, we got Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward has really been having a bounce back year, and it's great to see that. In the 18 to 19 season, he was really just trying to get back into his normal form after suffering that broken leg in the 17 to 18 season. But this year, he's really just came back. Even though he may not be the same all-star Gordon Hayward we saw in Utah, he might not be that again. He's still a great shooter and is having a bounce back year and fits in well with the Celtics. He's averaging 17 points per game, 4 assists, 6.5 rebounds, shooting 50% from the field and 39% from 3. He's a great mid-range shooter and a good three-point shooter. With all that being said, not much else I have to say about Gordon Hayward. At number 8, we got TJ Warren. Phoenix really made a huge mistake when they traded him for just cash considerations. Even if they did trade him, they could have gotten something better. The dude's averaging 19 points per game, shooting 53% from the field and 37.5% from 3. He's a great mid-range shooter and can also shoot threes, and he's really just a good scorer in general. He's really contributed to Indiana pretty well, and if you ask me, he's really going to be a big factor for Indiana. Not much else I have to really say for TJ Warren. Now let's move on to number 8 in Tobias Harris. No, not number 8. Scratch that. Number 7 in Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris has been having a little bit of a down year. However, regardless, he's scoring 19 points per game, grabbing 7 rebounds, dishing out 3 assists, and shooting 36% from 3 and 47% from the field. He's a good scorer and is a solid rebounder, but he really could shoot better from 3, and I don't think he's worth the contract he has. Seriously, that contract's pretty bad. With all that being said, if he can get back to shooting like 40% from the 3 like he was on the Clippers, that's really going to be a huge difference for the 76ers. And the 76ers are really going to need him to step up and become a much better three-point shooter if they want to get far into the playoffs. And the lack of three-point shooting has really just contributed to Philadelphia having a disappointing year. With all that being said, Tobias Harris, if you ask me, is kind of underrated, and he's a pretty good player. And with all that being said, let's move on to number 6 in DeMar DeRozan. Now, my opinion on DeMar DeRozan, it's kind of weird. Here's my opinion. If you ask me, the dude is now a borderline all-star, as I did state in my Kawhi Leonard video. Also, make sure to check that out. That will also be in the description below if you guys do want to check it out. But with all that being said, I think the guy is just a borderline all-star, and he's a good player, but isn't the type of player that leads you to a ton of wins. However, with all that being said, DeMar DeRozan, he's a pretty good player. He's averaging 22 points per game, 6 assists, shooting 52% from the field. He's a good scorer, but he is outdated as he doesn't really take that many threes. However, I do feel like the guy is sometimes kind of underrated, as people really won't give him credit if he drops 50. Sometimes there were times in January where I feel like the guy had some really good games, and people just weren't giving him the credit he really deserved. With all that being said, though, I don't have a ton to say about DeMar DeRozan besides I really wish he was back in the East, and I really hope he can get back onto a winning team. And let's now go on to the top 5 with Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram has been having an amazing season as he's scoring 24 points per game, 6 rebounds, shooting 46% from the field, and 39% from 3. The dude has really broken out and has turned into that Kevin Durant type, I guess, player that we really thought he would be. The guy is kind of skinny, however, he's a great scorer. He can also defend. He's also a decent defender. And, I mean, he was arguably New Orleans' best player, considering that Zion was the reason why, mostly, that they stayed afloat. I mean, and the guy made an All-Star game. Whatever. I mean, the guy's just been amazing. How else do I put it? The guy's just really good. And if you ask me, he's one of the top most improved player of the year in candidates. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Anyways, with all of that being said, the guy is great, and if you ask me, I think he would be really deserving of the most improved player of the year award. With all of that being said, let's now transfer over to number 4 and Chris Middleton. Now, Chris Middleton, if you ask me, he's actually kind of underrated. I mean, he's a good shooter, and he's a solid defender, and he's a pretty good second option. He plays his role very well. He's scoring 21 points per game, grabbing 6 rebounds, shooting 50% from the field and 42% from 3. If the guy was kind of known for, choking in the playoffs in the 2019 Eastern Conference Finals, and assuming Milwaukee, if they want to win a title, he really has to shoot pretty well from 3, and he just can't choke. If you ask me, he's pretty good, but he isn't a top 10 player like Bleacher Report says. Seriously, Bleacher Report. What? Why? Just why? He's not a top 10 player. Okay, with all that being said though, Chris Middleton, he's still a pretty good player, and I don't think people should disrespect this man. With all that being said, let's now move on to the top 3, and let's go to Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is one of my favorite players in the league. He's been a great leader for the Miami Heat and has been the main reason for why they've been doing so well this year. He's averaging 20 points per game, not shooting 6 assists, my god. He's dishing out 6 assists, grabbing 7 rebounds, swiping 2, maybe not swipe. Okay, alright, I'm phrasing things pretty weirdly. Grabbing 2 steals per game, shooting 45% from the field, and 25% from 3. Obviously, he hasn't been shooting well from 3 this year. That's pretty obvious. But hey, he has Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, Kendrick Nunn, plenty of 3-point shooting around him. I would like to see the guy make sure he can get back to his normal 3-point shooting form like next year. However, the guy is still great. He's one of the best two-way players in the league and can go and is often the guy who's guarding another team's best player. And ever since he left Chicago and blossomed into a star, he's really shown that the teams he goes on, he always makes a big impact. We saw it in Minnesota as he led them to the playoffs in the 17-18 season. We saw how important he was to the 76ers in the 2019 playoffs. And the guy, he's pretty good this year. With all that being said, let's move on to our runner-up being Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard has been having a pretty good year, and he's arguably the best player in the NBA. I'm not going to argue with that. You guys can believe what you want. Comment it down below, whatever. Anyways, his stats are 27 points per game, 5 assists, 2 steals per game, grabbing 7 rebounds per game, and shooting 47% from the field and 37% from 3. He's arguably the best two-way player in the league. He can shoot, score, defend, and really just do anything you want from a two-way wing. He's an absolute superstar and has been obviously the main reason why the Clippers are doing so well. I'm not going to spend too much time as number 1, it's going to be LeBron James. LeBron James has been having a bounce back year. He's having a great year, and he's really meshing well with Anthony Davis. I mean, him and Anthony Davis run the pick and roll really well. Because of that, he's averaging 26 points per game, 11 assists, having 1 steal per game, 8 rebounds, shooting 50% from the field, and 35% from 3. He's a good scorer, passer, and he has eased up on the defensive end and isn't as good defensively as he used to be. However, in the playoffs, when he does try, he's a pretty good defender. And the reason why I put him over Kawhi Leonard in this ranking is because of how well his regular season has been, considering Kawhi Leonard has also dealt with a few injuries here and there and has also load managed. But with that being said, LeBron James is great, and He's just LeBron James. How else do I put it? With all that being said, though, that's going to wrap up today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like the video. As always, check out my video on the Kawhi Leonard trade, the Kyrie Irving trade, and on the Legion of Boom Seahawks if you want to. And with all that being said, I'm out, you guys.